what we're doing is we're looking for that POV of the invitation when you're playing. How did that, what was that experience, or how did that feel for your younger self?
Oh wow, that was really good. Because when you were asking me to like just play her on with young, I had like nothing there, like nothing's coming.
Mm,
But then when you brought in the invitation ends, like that really started to hit. So I think that the thing that's come through that what flew up for me was just that like uh this idea of like I wanted to be accepted, wanted to be it wasn't just wanted to be accepted, like I wanted to be a part of it. I think that to me that like that feels different. Like accepted is like, okay, you're good, you can be on your own, but I wanted to be a part of it. Um, and this just memories of thoughts of like, hey, can Nini come out to come play? Like having a door knock and then someone being invited in. I've shared with you different things where I was like, I didn't know about like Odyssey of the Mind growing up, and I knew all my friends in elementary school were doing it. I'm just like, I don't know how to get in, right? And I think there's something about like invitation to me as like the pathway in. It's like I can see a bunch of people doing it, but if I'm not invited, I don't like I can see it's almost as if like yeah, it's almost as if there's like this like I can see everything that's available and there's like this glass partition in between and I don't know how people like I know where I'm at. I know that people were where I was beforehand and then like got on the other side of the glass partition. I'm like, how did you get there? Like what's the way
mm,
in? And so but like so invitation to me has been like it's almost as if like this is gonna be completely like anime made out, but it's almost as if like there's this glass petition there. You can see what's happening, and people go on the other side of the petition. And the only way, like when I try and walk to the glass, I kind of get like I get hit, like it shows up as a full glass thing. But if someone comes over, reaches through the glass, all of a sudden it becomes like more ethereal, starts shimmering. And then like if they grab my hand through an invitation, let's say, or a sponsorship, but like an invitation, like then all of a sudden that I can pass through, you know.
mhm,
And so when I think about
mhm.
my my youth, it was just like it's just a lot of like having to figure things out on my own. Wanting to, I didn't invite a lot of people to my house. My parents weren't around like in like during the day as much, so it was a lot more like evening time kind of stuff. So I didn't invite like I wanted to hang out with people, but I didn't have like the bit like the hang like I couldn't invite them over, right? And it's not like I'm not like blaming my parents or anything like that. It's not that. But it's
Mhm, mhm.
like inviting them over to my house wasn't gonna be the way that we went and did things. And so I think that as I'm talking this out loud, I think there was just always a desire to like go and play, but like I needed to be invited, in order to go and
Mhm.
play. Um and Yeah, that feels about right. That feels like yeah, that feels like it feels about right. And I think that there's this like I don't know if I was like a big invitee back then.
Mhm.
Like I don't know like if I like really consider myself to be all that inviting. Um, I was more like PC and wanted to make sure that I got along with everyone so that I could be invited. I didn't really feel like I had a
Mhm.
place. I think that's the other thing. Is like I didn't really feel like I had like my own place until several years into high school. And so with that, it was like, all right, if I don't have my own place, then I need to be invited into someone else's space. Um,
Mm,
and when I was invited, that felt really, 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 really good.
yeah. Okay. So that really touches me. And on just a side note, this obviously won't be the topic of the conversation, but I feel this place very tenderly, because of my own childhood wounds and experiences around invitation, and my own thoughts around my Asianness and waiting to be invited, or hoping to be invited, or not being invited. So just on a human level, I want to say, like, this is a place of like tenderness for my young self. It's
Mm.
But the beautiful thing about it, Niiamah, is that I'm seeing a lot of possibility in medicine for you too because of these experiences. So let's see if we can language it in soul terms. A couple of things that I note is that, and I'm going to use he for you, for your younger self. So if he didn't have the chance to invite people to his home, just circumstantially, I know we're not blaming your parents, but that became almost a way, right? A habit of not inviting because there wasn't the home. And as a teen, it sounds like it took a while, I think you said, to have your own place. So there wouldn't, so you'd be waiting more for the invitation.
Yeah, and
All,
it's not like a physical place, but it's like it took a
mhm,
while before like the original council, my like high school friends, until like that like really solidified. Like it was like that's really where I was coming from. More like it wasn't like I got my own place.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so and that's important to the metaphorical, right? The metaphorical as well as the literal, but there, so as we're looking for like what the point of view of the younger self could have been, the habituation was to not invite. But the
It was the
invitation.
wait to be invited was like it wasn't like I wasn't trying to invite. Like 'cause when I hear that, it's like, oh, I could have invited, but I didn't. It didn't really feel
Mhm.
that way. It was really like, okay, the invitation isn't necessarily on the table. Now, like, yeah, there's a part of me that's like, I've always had an inviting personality. You get what I'm saying? Like,
Agreed.
like I'm
Yes.
like, hey, like, let's do this thing. Like, let's be wild. Look out, like, there's something to that. But I think that the actual like, oh, we're throwing a party, or like, hey, do you want to come over after school, or do like that energy, like, just didn't exist for me,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because that wasn't. But like, I'm like, can we all hang out? Do you want to go hang out? And then like not being intrusive about that, right? Because it was like it wasn't my
Mhm.
space here, like and here where I live right now, constant like y'all just want to come over. Like I'm like I have no plans. I think we can order pizza. I'm always just like we'll just order pizza if we need to, or you can come over. We're not doing dinner, but we can still hang. So I'm like I'm good with the invitation now.
Right. So thank you for that distinction. So what we're trying to delineate is you are an inviter. You are a welcomer. That's why we have this space, Outliers Edge. You've been a host for so many people to come into your podcast, and I know some of the people that have been coached by you. So that is your natural, or that is one of your gifts. But there's this underlying habit or a small underlying inclination right now at the moment of not inviting into this movement on these live streams. And so we're just looking for the habituation. And it seems that there might be he. And now I don't know if it's just because there wasn't a space at home to actually have people over. Because I know your personality has been very, vibrant and inclusive ever since you were little. But what we're trying to detangle is what is it that's that underlying habituation to not invite, even though you are an inviter by nature. And that's what soul work is, right? It's like just detangling the little bit so that we can turn toward that part with your adult presence. And your adult presence is very much inviter. You know the pains of not being invited, and inclusivity is one of your massive superpowers. So all I'm curious about is detangling what it is that causes that hesitation on his part. I think it might be a younger part. Let me hand it back to you and see.
All right, let me see what he's feeling. So right now, and I can't tell if this is my younger self or my adult presence, but there's something that happened in conversation that just like reminded me that like invitation is my superpower. Like,
Mm-hmm.
um, like invitation is my leadership.
Mm-hmm.
And as we were talking about like how good it felt, like how good it felt to be invited. Um,
Yes.
not answering your question directly, but I feel like I need to say this so I can like presence this as well.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's something where like the adult presence is like, wouldn't it be awesome to just give that to other people? You know,
Yes.
what if we were to come from this place and just be like, hey, maybe you're over here thinking everyone's gonna come here and then they'll just like click the link and like that's how it's gonna work versus like being like, but dude, like you yourself were like sitting there waiting for someone to invite. Like what if this doesn't come off as a burden or like because like the problem that I have one of the problems I have right now and I don't know like I'm gonna unpack it through my current element and we can see where like if my younger self was in it, but there's like who I am and what I do are very like intertwined. Like I'm doing Outliers Edge no matter what. Like no matter what. Like I am even if I don't call it Outliers Edge, you know. But like it's like when I'm hanging out with my friends and like we get into starting to play D&D and Magic the Gathering here, right? It's because there was a really cool person who like had like a very strong feeling about like um D&D and like we started off with that. I'm like, hey, like let's do this. Like when it came up in conversation, it was embraced and like uplifted and then like it's like become real so that almost with the last 2 years, the year and a half we've been playing this game together, you know, and it's continued to grow into other things. So I feel like there's a real part where the he looks at it as someone as a burden, you know, almost like, hey, if I invite you, like I'm gonna be burdening, or you know, because this is a part of who I am, like the movement.
Mm.
It doesn't have that cleanliness of just being like, hey, I'm inviting you for you. There's this like other part of like, I'm inviting you because like, and that's gonna lead to something, and you're gonna get something, and I'm gonna ask for money in exchange, or I'm gonna ask for your time in exchange. Like, there's gonna be some kind of exchange that takes place, and I think that there's also another part that's like I really value people and their time. And so I know that the movement is powerful. I know that there's something there. Um it's really it's the way in which the invitation comes out. It's almost like there's a like I like and I'm trying to go back to my younger self to see what's there, but I'll speak from what's showing up right now, which is
Right.
like there's a way that I can make the invitation that's this is like on the surface, like, oh, do I invite them to one-on-one coaching? Do I invite them to come to the movement? Da, 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 da. Like all those things, but all those things are just like the delivery vehicle. Like I think what's missing is the invitation of I see you, you know, coming from that place and being like, hey,
Mm.
come, like you're being seen, and I want you to be a part of this thing, you know. But there's a the challenge, the tension comes, and is like from like is the invitation coming because yeah, I think there's a way to invite that doesn't feel like it's about them, but rather it's about me, right? And I think that
Mhm.
that part there, I can't find like the younger element. Maybe if you ask me some questions, like I'm thinking about this, I'm like, where might this have shown up with my younger self, and what like how does this show up for him? But I want to make sure I'm present in this right now because this is what feels like it's on the table.
I think we move with this. So what we're trying to do is find the distinction, and maybe that led us close to it. But I think this is feeling more resonant. So one thing that we note is that from our wound is our medicine, right? That's sort of the idea of
Mhm.
alchemy, and the idea of being able to give that invitation that feels so good. So it
Mhm.
could even be, so I'm going to ask you, it could even be an adult presence hesitation in that you want to make sure that what you're offering is good, or the way you invite is right. Or there might be a younger, we're not sure, but let me stay here with you.
Yeah.
So from your medicine of like understanding what it feels like to be invited,
Mhm.
if you bring that into the idea of inviting people, just as you started to, can you stay with that for a little bit and see?
Yeah, I think now this is getting into if we're going to look at it from the adult present side of things, it's getting into it's a mix of tactics, but also um tactics, strategy, but underneath it all like feels like what feels good, you know,
Hmm.
like I'm gonna and this is where like having the soul come on, like soul in my council,
Yes.
like come on is important because like the soul's like, dude, come on now, right? Like you are here on this planet for something. Like there are people out there that are, I'm going to use the word suffering because that's the word that came to mind, right? They're suffering, and we may be suffering with a smile on our face, but like there's so much more that we could be having, and you like the difference between, because I don't think I'm the solution. I think like we are the solution, if that makes sense. Like just not having to do it alone, right? Um, I have something that I bring to the table, but similar to how I was saying earlier, like I have multiple coaches. There's different people I bring in the space because they have different gifts, right? So there's a part of me that's like given how, sorry, I'm like my body's like contracted, and then like my stomach was like, "Ugh." um,
Mm-hmm.
I think that there's I'm going to play out a couple of things. I think that with people that I already know, there's a way that I can make the invitation that will come off as, um, I want the invitation to come off grounded. I realize that. I'm afraid of
Mm-hmm.
being like, hey, like, come join the movement. Like, it's this free community I'm putting together. Like, that element is like, oh, that's really cool. Like, Niiamah's doing something. Like, I have my own life, but like, that's cool. Good thumbs up. Like, that's one energy that this can come out as. Um, I think that the more that what feels like very real for me, like there's another thing just like, hey, I want to support, like I'm doing live sessions on here. Why don't you come on and grab a live session? That feels good, right? So that's
Mm-hmm.
coming from a place of like supporting, right?
Yeah.
So, but there's an energy to supporting that's real and true, but I love when you said earlier, like Niamah's coached me, like we're peers in this game. Like that's really how I want to look at this thing with all of my clients, all the people like in here. Where I'm like we're peers. Like, and I have something very special and unique that I offer, and like I need to make sure that it is sustainable from a financial perspective and beyond to be able to offer this to as many people as possible. So that like because then the product itself, the thing we do gets even better. Um, but I don't like but I don't need to show up in support for you, if that makes sense. Like I don't need it to be like, do you have something wrong? Can I come help? Like, can I come in there? It's like, no, I'm like, I haven't found a sense of like, I think you're like a cool, like, I think you should become a member of this club, and like we're up to great things together. And this is what the vision of the club is, and this is why I'm thinking that you should be a part of it, and this is what we do. Like, I don't have that going on right now, and I
Mm-hmm.
think that that's what I want to enroll people into. That's what I want to invite people into. Like, and sometimes I get lost with the language of movement. I'm using it because it's so, for when people hear it, like when it lines up, it's like outliers, like the word outlier. Like when people are like, I don't think of myself as an outlier on a daily basis, but when I read it, I'm like, yeah, like I am an outlier, huh? Or like, and the same thing with movement. They're like, I wasn't thinking I was leading a movement, but like when you put it in this context, like, yeah, this like I'm using the business to lead a movement, like Ganji. So I think I don't want to lose my train of thought on it, but I think that um I think there's something tied to this where it's like I want to make sure that I'm inviting them into the movement itself. But no, I want to see them. I want them to know that they are seen, and that I think they are awesome, and I have a space that I am bringing all the people who are that I see who are also awesome together. And during it, doing it, some of the things we get are community, some of the things we get are coaching, some of the things we get are stretching ourselves out there. But it's really, I think the real element is like if I'm trying to just grow the movement, eh,
Mm-hmm.
if I'm trying to be like, hey, I can coach you, but if it's like, hey, I see you, and I think that we should play, and like this is what I've needed, and this is why I'm bringing together, and you like I'm inviting you to be a part of something real. That feels different than how many people can I get in. Like it's like just finding the right energy of that. I think it's the energetic alignment because I know that the action is going to take place. I don't expect people to watch a live stream and then say like I'm joining. Not yet. They will, but not yet. But I think it's the energy of it all.